And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. On today's program we're going to be making a classic American favorite, only we're going to kind of turn it a little bit. Have you ever had buffalo wings? Well, we're going to take the boneless, skinless chicken breast and we're going to buffalo it. We're going to marinate it in a buffalo wing sauce, and then we're going to fry it. We're actually going to make sandwiches out of ours. And then on the side we're going to have a chili cheese dip, which is delicious. It's chili, it's ground beef with a hot sauce and cheese, and you dip it with tortilla shells. It's wonderful. And then on the side, we're going to have a pomme frite, which is a really thin, baked, crisp French fry. And we're going to have those on the sides of our sandwiches. So let's get started. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 450 degrees. That's for our French fries. In this skillet, I have about 1.5 pounds of ground chuck that I am just browning up to get ready for our chili cheese dip. We're just going to brown this ground beef, or this is ground chuck, and then we're going to add some different things to it. This is one of those menus that you could have for a football party on, if you watch football at your house. This is perfect for something like that, tailgating or anything like that, or just a simple, easy weeknight supper. And the chili cheese dip is something that you can make and you can be eating as an appetizer or eating while you cook, or just keep it, make it in a crock pot and let it simmer, and you can just go to it all day long. So this is a really easy thing for you to do. I've got a skillet over here, but in this bag for our chicken, in this bag I have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we'll talk about the sauce in just a minute, but I want to show you, when you buy boneless, skinless chicken breasts, you see how it's kind of fatter on one end and thinner on the other. You need to even that out. So I've already done these, but I wanted to show you, this is a meat mallet, and you just want to kind of pound, and this is sticking to my meat mallet here. You just kind of want to pound it. You see how it's kind of thinning out to the same thickness, which is exactly what you want. And just use a heavy meat mallet, and then just kind of, you don't want to take it too far. You see how it's just kind of evened out to be the same thickness. That's exactly what you want. Now, in this bag, I have some boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and they're just marinating away, and I have added to that, in the jarred section of your grocery store where you buy your hot sauce, sitting right beside the hot sauce is something called wing sauce. It's a buffalo wing sauce. Now, you can make your own, but it's just as easy to buy the jarred wing sauce. To the wing sauce, I mixed about a teaspoon, because I like hot and spicy. Now, this is an ingredient you can adjust up and down. The wing sauce itself is hot, but I've added about a teaspoon of ground red pepper, and then just some freshly cracked black pepper, because I do like spicy. If you don't like it quite as spicy, leave out the ground red pepper, and yours will be fine. And that way you don't have that, you don't have the heat level that I do. This has been marinating for about 30 minutes, which is what you want. You want to kind of let your chicken hang out in the marinade. You could do this the night before and let it marinate till the next evening, and that would be perfectly fine. Up to a day. You would not want to go any longer than a day, because anytime you're marinating a chicken or beef product anyway, longer than 24 hours, the fibers start breaking down and it gets mushy. So go up to, anywhere from 30 minutes up to 24 hours and you'll be fine. And I like to marinate in a Ziploc bag because it's easier. It's less cleanup, and you just take it out of there and you throw it away, and it's just easy to turn and twist, and you don't have to worry about the stuff spilling out. So I always marinate in a Ziploc bag. Now, our ground beef is browning up beautifully, and I love this dish. I love it. I make it you know, a couple times a year at home. We always have this Christmas Eve. This is on Christmas Eve at my mom and dad's house when we go. We always have this, or something similar to this, depending on who's making it. And it's just a big hit. And this, like I said, this is one of those dishes that if you wanted to brown your ground beef on the stovetop and then drain it and then put it in your crock pot and just let it simmer, it's perfect for that kind of thing. And you could do this the night before, and then that morning before you go to work, just add the rest of the ingredients and it'll just simmer all day long, and it would be yummy when you come home. You want to brown your ground beef all the way to where there's no pink left, breaking it up as you go. And I found a neat trick. If you're, you know how sometimes it really is more with the leaner beef, I think, that your ground beef, when you want to crumble it up and it doesn't work as well, if you will use a pastry cutter and just go in there with a pastry cutter, it really helps to break up your ground beef into smaller pieces. And I was working at home the other day, cooking something. I don't even remember what I was cooking. But my beef would not separate into the little crumbles like I wanted, and I just got out my pastry cutter and it worked beautifully. So that's a little bit of a hint for you there. But this is yummy, and you will love it. Your family will love it. And you could use, now today, we're going to use just a processed cheese that you can buy at the store, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But if you wanted to use like queso cheese, the Mexican queso cheese, you could use that. That melts beautifully in this dish. Now, I've got my oven preheated to 450 degrees, and let's talk a little bit about the French fries. I call them French fries. In the French term for them is called pommes frites. Now, I've already done part of this because they have to soak. What you want to do is take your potatoes, and I like the skin on my potatoes. If the skin is, you know, blemish-free, that kind of thing, leave the skin on. You don't have to peel it. Scrub them and just leave the skin on. But you want to cut your potatoes, let me kind of show you here, into smaller pieces. You see how we've got little thin, I'd say 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch little strips. Now, I did mine with a mandolin, but you could by all means do this by hand. This is just the shape because you want them to be crispy. And so the thinner they are, of course, the crispier they're going to get. Have you ever had French fries from McDonald's? It's about the size you want. And if you'll do that and you will let them soak for, 30 minutes or so in cold water, what happens is some of the starch comes out, and therefore your French fries will get crisper. I have a lined baking dish here, and I'm just going to put these out on the baking dish in a single layer onto the baking dish. Drain off as much of, just take a handful out. And you see the starch that's behind in the water? And the water also will help prevent them from turning brown on you, as sometimes potatoes will do if you don't soak them. Now, I think I did too many. Although, I don't know. When you make something like this, you just want to eat them. I love little crispy French fries. I'm not real big on French fries out in restaurants, but when I make them at home, I love them because I can determine the amount of salt and so forth, and I also, can make them as crisp as I like them. So if you do them in these little shapes, they're actually called pommes frites. They're great accompaniment to like steak or sandwiches or anything like that. So there you go. Just get them out as, a single layer as you can possibly fit on your baking sheet. You want to drizzle them with some olive oil. Liberal amount of olive oil. Remember, that's the heart-healthy oil, so it's okay to cook with it. I use olive oil 95% of the time in my cooking. Occasionally I will use canola, but 95% of the time I use olive oil. Lots of salt and lots of freshly ground pepper. My pepper mill, I think, needs to be filled up here. I like a lot of pepper on my French fries or pommes frites. And then toss it with your hand. I'm going to take a quick break. All I'm going to do over the break is just stick these in the oven at 450 degrees, and I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Hey, and welcome back. Now we've got our French fries in the oven and they're just roasting away. Our beef is browned, so to that we want to add about 3 tablespoons of chili powder, just plain chili powder that you buy in the grocery store. Because I like it hot, this is an optional ingredient right here. If you don't like it quite as hot, leave this out. I've got about another teaspoon or so of the ground red pepper. Now, when I say the ground red pepper, next to your spices, usually you know where you buy the chili powder, oregano, and all that stuff, you'll see cayenne pepper. And then right next to it, usually you will see what's called ground red pepper, and that's what I'm talking about when I say that. Then I've got about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now, I know I'm not a big fan most of the time of garlic powder or onion powder, but this is a recipe that really it works well in. You could, if you don't have any and you wanted to use fresh garlic, you could use just some fresh garlic. Stir those in. Add just a little bit of salt, about a half a teaspoon or so, and some freshly cracked pepper. I'm not a big salt person. If you like your food a little salty or, any of my recipes, you can adjust up and down on your salt. I don't use a lot of salt. Just in my cooking, I just don't. So if you want to add more, feel free to do it. That'll be fine. Now we're going to add this is a big jar, so I'm going to put about 3/4 of this of just salsa. Pick your favorite, whatever kind of salsa that you like. So this is a 24-ounce. I probably added about 20 ounces or so. Just a jar of whatever kind of salsa you like. I'm using just a medium chunky salsa. Turn your heat down a little bit, kind of medium-low. Now, I'm going to use just the block of cheese, that you buy in the dairy department of your grocery store. This is just the processed cheese. Find my knife here. That I'm going to just chop, cube, and put in to that and just sort of let that hang out and melt. Now, at this point, if you wanted to, you could put that mixture out of your skillet and put it in a microwavable bowl and add your cheese and put it in the microwave if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do mine on the stove top. I'm just going to cube up this cheese in, about, I don't know, 1/2-inch cubes or so. The smaller your cubes, of course, the easier and the quicker it's going to melt. And just put that in over top of this. We've got one more ingredient to add to this, and then we just serve this with tortilla chips. And you may have had something or something similar to this. Different people make this a little bit differently. My sister makes it, and she makes it just a little different than I do. But it's good, no matter how. And like I said, this is one of those cheeses that maybe if you wanted to, you could use half of this and half queso cheese. Just get, say a pound of this kind of cheese and then a pound or so of the queso cheese. Now, queso cheese is a white Mexican cheese that you can buy really anywhere nowadays. It's Q-U-E-S-O, but it's called queso cheese, and it's delicious. And just melt that and dip your tortilla chips in it is really, really very good. So that's just another option for you. You could have 2 varieties of this very same recipe. Or you could eliminate this cheese and just use plain queso cheese. Would work beautifully. You want to make sure that if you substitute your cheeses, that it's a cheese that melts, because, you know, not all cheese melts really, you know, pretty, and you really need something that melts into this dish. So make sure that whatever kind of cheese you use, that, you know, you get something that melts really well. And I think that's about all the cheese I'm going to put in here. And then I'll see how it melts, and then if I need to add a little more, I will add some more. And then I have a little small 4-ounce can of diced green chilies. I told you I like it hot. So we're just going to add the diced green chilies to this. You could add a jalapeno pepper to it if you wanted to. You know, if you dice up a jalapeno or habaneros. I was shopping at the grocery store earlier, and I saw those jalapeno peppers, and I thought, we could add one of those. But then I thought, you know, that's going to probably burn some mouths around here, so we better not. Jalapeno pepper, if you didn't know, is the hottest pepper on the planet. It is a little small. It's about that big. Had Aaron at the grocery store with me the other day, and we were looking at the different peppers, and he was asking me all kinds of questions, my little boy Aaron, and he saw that orange is his favorite color, and these little peppers are bright orange. And he said, "Oh, Mommy," and he picked one up. I said, "Aaron, make sure that we go right now to the bathroom and wash your hands, because the oils on those peppers, if you don't, I promise you, you will be in misery, because it is hot, 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 but so good. It has a sweet, fruity flavor to it." Now, there's our chili cheese dip. Now, you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of this. Might as well, right? Can't have too much cheese. And that really just needs to stay warm and melt the rest of the cheese, and it's done. And that's simple. You can have a wonderful, wonderful dip for your family. I'm going to preheat this larger skillet, because we've got to get our chicken going here. And just kind of stir that in, and you see how that cheese is melting in there? Yum, yum. Perfect for a game night. Maybe your family's coming over, or you and your family have game night at your house. You know, we do that sometimes at home. Friday night's a big night at my house. We have what we call camp out night. Me and the boys have done it for years. Friday night is camp out night. And we just, you know, we camp out in the living room, and me and them, we watch movies or whatever. So this is a good thing to have on hand so you can munch while you're watching TV. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to get our chicken in the skillet. We're going to stir our fries and check on our dip, and then we're going to eat. I'll be right back with you in just a minute. Hi, and welcome back. Now, our chili cheese dip is done. Would you look at this? How beautiful. We've been sampling. And we've got our skillet preheated here. And I'm just adding some extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to take our chicken. Now, remember, we pounded it, so it's going to cook a lot quicker. And we're going to just add, drip, you know, try to get as much of the marinade off as you can. Be careful, because it will splatter on you. Especially that first one there, because it's taken the... And add your chicken. You could do this with chicken tenders if you wanted to also. Now, traditional buffalo chicken is deep fried, you know, in this sauce, and then they fry it in a, coat it with a little bit of, let me get that straightened out there. Fold it up under there. Coated with like a flour mixture and then deep fried, but I'm not going to do that. I just, you know, to eliminate and to kind of make it just a little bit healthier, I'm just going to cook them just like this, and they are splattering like crazy here. Let me kind of let that die down. I'm going to add over my skillet here real quick, just a little bit of a splatter guard to keep it from getting quite so messy around here. But this is our chicken. And of course, you know, chicken wings are served with a blue cheese dressing. So we've got some beautiful Kaiser rolls here that I'm going to just split. I just purchased some wonderful little Kaiser rolls. You can use whatever kind of roll that you like. And we're going to split them and we're going to toast these. Let me find the right knife here. And we're going to just toast up, split them, and toast these up just a little bit in the oven with our French fries, our wonderful pommes frites. And you know, we were over the break, we were talking, and you could absolutely serve that chili dip right there over your French fries and make chili cheese fries. And there's another recipe for you, and oh, how good are they? Maybe fry a little bit of bacon and crumble a little bit of bacon over top of that with some sour cream or guacamole, if you like guacamole, would be wonderful. So there you go. You can make that chili cheese dip and serve it umpteen different ways. JR here said he would put it on the bun and eat it like a sloppy Joe type thing, and you could do that. You absolutely could do that. So I'm just going to take my rolls. I'm going to put them in the oven to kind of crisp them up just a little bit here. Our French fries are cooking away. Yum, yum, yum. Don't let me forget the bread, because we don't want to burn our wonderful little rolls there. So here's our chili cheese dip. Let's turn our chicken. Because we pounded the chicken, it's going to cook much quicker. Get my tongs going here. Losing my grip. Well, come on, chicken. There you go. They're going to cook really, really quick. So you want to just kind of keep it to, you know, like medium, high heat. About 3 minutes on each side, and they're done because we pounded them. And they're much thinner. So we want to get that going. Now, I just bought some plain blue cheese dressing and some beautiful lettuce that we're going to, you know, dress our sandwiches with. You could put tomato or onion or whatever you like on a sandwich would be fine. Let's serve up our chili cheese dip. I've got just a pretty little plate. We want to put some of our, let me get a bigger spoon here, some of our chili cheese on our serving dish, and I'll show you how you serve these, how you eat them. Put some of your dip on there. I spilled a little bit, so let's wipe that off. And then I bought just the little scoopy type tortilla chips, but you could use whatever, you know, you could use the flat plain ones if you wanted to. But the little scoopy ones do wonderfully. Let me show you here. You can take your little scoop and then put it in your chili cheese dip, and there you go. There's your wonderful little chili cheese dip. Take some fresh parsley and chop that up. Just some parsley. I'm using the curly leaf today. You could use cilantro, or you could use the flat leaf parsley, whatever you wanted. Just a little bit of parsley. Adds a little color and a little bit of flavor to that. And there you go. There's your beautiful little chili cheese dip. Now we're going to put together our meal, and I'll tell you, I've had a change of mind in the break. We're going to take our French fries that we took out of the oven, and we are going to cover them in this sauce. And we're going to make chili cheese fries because I love them. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, doesn't that look good? Okay, now our sandwich, let's put that over there. Our sandwiches are ready to go. We've got our bread. We're going to just put a little bit of just bottled, which I didn't take the rest of the thing out. My hands are slick from the, let's get this off. I hate these little things. I don't know why they have to put those on. Absolutely everything you buy, I guess it seals it in there, but I can't ever get them off there the right way. There we go. Now, our blue cheese dressing. just regular store-bought blue cheese salad dressing. Put some of that on your bottom of your bun, however much you like. Take one of your beautiful little chicken breasts and put that on there. A slice of Swiss cheese, and then just a pretty little lettuce leaf. I'm just using the red lettuce leaf that you buy in the grocery stores, just the head of lettuce here. And there you go. There's your wonderful buffalo chicken sandwich with our wonderful little chili cheese dip with ground beef and the processed cheese that we just melted in there with some chili powder and some red pepper and some garlic powder. And we're going to serve that two ways. We're going to serve that with tortilla chips, the little scoopy tortilla chips. We've also took our French fries and we've covered it with the chili cheese dip to make chili cheese fries, and our wonderful marinated buffalo chicken sandwiches that if you like buffalo wings, you will love this sandwich. It's easy to do. You can marinate your chicken for up to a whole day. I hope you try these recipes and send me requests. Email me at it's lisa@livingfaithtv.com. It'll come straight to me. Email me your comments and what you would like to see in upcoming recipe shows. I'll see you next time on Everyday Manna.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna, P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.